Hello everyone, we're back playing Vampire the Masquerade Reckoning of New York. I hope everything audio-wise sounds good, me sounds good, game sounds good, not too low, not too loud. Let's hit continue, shall we? Because I saved it, didn't I? Night 1. We're still on night 1. Yeah. So we're still sort of in where we were in the demo. We didn't get killed by Kadir. Sad. We're all sad about that. I would have loved that. And Pádraic's our new sort of what's not study buddy. Study buddy is what I wanted to say, but accountability buddy, I guess, is the better term. To make sure that we don't start doing any shenanigans under the Camarilla's nose while they search for our sire and for whatever's going on in the Big Apple that's of such importance. Yeah, so I have a caitiff clinging to our back, and oh no, so sad about that. But we need to do this. Yes, hope everyone's having a lovely day, by the way. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to the weekend. There isn't much audio to hear in game. Yeah, there's like little like sound effects and stuff like that. I just don't want you to miss out. But also, I don't want you to like hurt your eardrums. We might not need air to nourish our vitae, but I still let out a sigh of relief when the doors to Elysium slammed shut behind us. Talk about a crew of entitled assholes holed up in their ivory tower, get it? Sneering at kindred just scraping by to make dead ends meet. I hope they get a nice sharp stake to the foot. But hey, it's all good. My golden words and silver tongue managed to buy me some time to find Reynard and get the hell out of Dodge before those clowns catch on that we've already hit the West Coast. The only hiccup for now is... keep making that face at me and it might just get stuck that way. I know certain people who may or may not be in the chat who would just be so amazed. Like, I could see us sitting at a table and saying these types of things to each other. Just saying. They may or may not be in the chat right now. Someday this will be us. Shut your eyes and trust me then. Then maybe it's time you shut your eyes, pal, and let me navigate us to our destination. Just give it a 10 count before peeping. I would rather we didn't. He pauses mid-sentence. Actually, on second thought, that might just top the chart as the worst suggestion I've been privy to tonight. And believe me, it has some heavy competition. I don't know, Vin. I don't know who it could be. I don't know who it could be who would love to sit there and have a toxic love-hate relationship, frenemies to lovers relationship in roleplay. I don't know who it could be. Don't worry, there's more to come. I haven't played my final card yet. Stay optimistic. I whirl around, his exasperated sigh chasing after me. Be what may, this caitiff tick's gotta go. Look, the sun is about to rise. We can pick up this little dance of ours again tomorrow night, okay? Let's get moving. My haven isn't even in this part of town. Hold up. What do you mean, your haven? Alright, hear me out. I get that this whole thing is a bit of a pain for the both of us. Trust me, I have no more desire to mind you than you have to be minded. But let's rewind for a second. You were the one who picked me out at Elysium and got us both into this mess. If I let you out of my sight, things will get proper unpleasant for me, and believe me, I am speaking from experience. But you will be torn to shreds by Kadir's hounds before you could say oops. They'll sniff you out sooner rather than later. That is a stone-cold fact. So how about we skip the theatrics and you tag along to a place I know is safe. We can regroup and figure out our next move come nightfall. Better stop ordering me around like that or I'm gonna fall in love with him. He stops mid-sentence, fingers crossed for whatever is the kindred version of a stroke. Maybe I could slip away and get to my RV. No, your RV is completely off the table. Keep it zipped, caitiff. Why on earth would I choose to spend the day with you? Full disclosure, you're really not my type in, well, anything. Consider me heartbroken. I'm dying. I'm locked in. Locked in. How rude, leading a poor defenseless girl back to your lair with promises of shelter? I won't stand for it, sir. Could you maybe not? It's hardly as amusing as you seem to think. And let's be real, the ship for me playing the gentleman sailed a while ago. You mean you were never a gentleman, right? He stays silent for a moment, likely thinking he's gained the upper hand in our verbal spar. I still count it as my win. Nevertheless, he starts yapping again soon after. In any case, we need a place to rest, and my haven is the safest choice. I'd really hate to resort to violence, but don't presume I won't drag you there if the need arises. It's your call. Every time I don't get a say, it somehow turns out to be my call. Come on, what do you think I'll do? Run away? Yes. Obviously. Oh, ye of little faith, would I try to bail on you on Christmas night? You sticking around might just count as a true holiday miracle. And no, I don't bank on holiday miracles. If you are under the impression I'll let you out of my sight, then you are not paying attention. Come on, let's not dilly-dally. Dilly-dally? Did they embrace him in a Dickens novel? Talk about being charming. All right. After you. Stubborn as I am, it turns out Mr. Thin and Mean over there is just as immovable. Not thin and mean. Arguing seems futile. Time for a different approach. I toss him a thoughtful glance, noticing him leisurely fiddling with one of those ugly rings adorning every conceivable part of his hands. What a jerk. My gang would eat him alive, but I can deal with him on my own just fine. All I need is a little bit of inspiration. After a quick look around, a couple of schemes start to take shape. How about a magic trick? Will I be able to play this through October? Will your play be paused for Month of Darkness news announcements? No, I will be playing this through October, in addition to doing other fun stuff for the Month of Darkness, but you're going to have to wait and find out what the team has planned. Lifting his ring might be ambitious when he's so wired, but I've got other tricks up my sleeve. I fish out a ring from my belt bag, a trinket I nicked off some sucker back in Chicago. It's a piece of junk, really. No pawn shop would glance twice at it, but you never know when a useless thing might come in handy. I clear my throat awkwardly and evoke an appropriately embarrassed face. I should have really checked to see how hungry I am. I think I'm really hungry. So, what I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry for getting snappy earlier. Rough night, you get it? Well, an apology isn't quite enough, but it is a start. Yeah, we got off the wrong foot, huh? Let's start again. Name's Callie. With that, I extend my hand. It hovers in the frigid air, waiting for his response. After a brief pause, he reaches out and shakes it. Pádraic Conroy. I take this as my cue, clasping his hand warmly with both of mine, shaking with all the vigor I can muster. Nice to meet you, Pádraic. Fancy seeing a magic trick? I beg your pardon. I flash him the ring with a nasty smile, watching as his face turns a shade paler. Before he has a chance to check his own fingers, I take a big swing. Want your precious ring back? Then fetch. I hurl the ring into the distance, listening as it clinks off a wall. As the caitiff dashes off, ooh, Marissa really wanted that ring. I seize the moment and zoom away in the opposite direction, pushing my legs as fast as they'll go. I have no idea where I'm going, but solitude sounds perfect right now. Even after everything tonight, it looks like I'm on a roll. Must be that Ravnos charm working its magic. Must be. Oh, right, this is where we run into the hunters, right? I instantly regret my choice the moment I dash into an alleyway. A dodgy crew handling crates that seem to be filled with combat gear snaps their attention towards me the moment I make my entrance. And they've seen my inhuman speed. Shit. Caleb, look! That one again. Her again? Seriously? What the hell? Once is a fluke, twice is an awfully fucked up coincidence, and I've seen too much to believe in those. It's that raggedy bitch! Look, I told you I wasn't seeing things! Not now, for fuck's sake, I've got eyes! Squad, to your positions! Avengers, assemble! They begin to circle me, exchanging nods. It's only then I notice their tactical gear and the unmistakable outline of wooden stakes. Is this the infamous Special Affairs Division, which is my favorite division in the Second Inquisition because it's sad? S-A-D. Seriously, fuck my unlife. Reynard was spot on. I'm always too quick to pop the champagne. Back off, would you? This isn't going to end well for you. Shut your filthy gob, leech. Shut your fat gob. He whips out a stake to compensate for his shaky tone. I'm not one for head-on combat, but it's way past the time for cunning. From the sides, now! They come at me all at once with an attack surprisingly uncoordinated for such a well-equipped team. That disarray is the only reason I may survive this. As a flash of heat surges through me, their movements seem to slow down. I grab the first one by the arm as he swings a knife at me, driving my nails into his armpit. Everything turns a shade of red I find disturbingly pleasant. I'm hungry. Next, I leap and spin, taking the squeaky girl down with a kick that leaves her neck at a grotesque angle, her body crumbling to the ground. Ugh. Their leader waves his stake in hesitation, searching for an opening. "Bring it on, you undead whore!" That's me. I don't give him the chance. In an instant, I'm at his throat, tearing and ripping. His blood washes over my skin like a hot shower. It feels comforting. As the chaos fades, there I am, perfectly unharmed amid the carnage, swept up in the rush of victory. Tonight is definitely my night. Maybe I'm remembering the demo wrong, because I don't remember it that well. Because like I said, there was like 3 demos, all one right after the other, so I was sort of blurred in my brain. Did I kill them last time? Or did Pádraic come and help me kill them? But then reality strikes, quite literally. Knocked onto my knees and suddenly dazed, I scramble to get up. I need to get out before the caitiff catches up. As I try to rise, a kick sends me sprawling. Another thug, one that I missed, sits on top of me, stake in hand, aimed straight at my heart. I react instantly, bucking my hips and reaching for his elbow, ready to tear and rip, but I can't. And I don't have to. Suddenly, hands encircle the thug's neck, twisting in a complete circle. Right here's where he comes. Reminiscent of some horror movie owl. He drops beside me lifeless as the caitiff casually retrieves the stake. "You've lost something." Piss off. "I believe 'thank you' is the phrase you're looking for. You should be glad I fetched the ring in record time." He extends his hand with grace, and there's a part of me itching to grab it, to pull at it, and literally take him down a peg. Ooh. But I let the moment pass. The brawl's worn me out, and dawn's creeping up on us. I refuse his help, pushing myself up with a mix of pride and fatigue. "Why don't you hold on to the stake? Consider it a memento of the time you nearly got taken out by a few hunters and needed my intervention. A slice of humble pie, if you will." I tuck the stake into my belt bag, feeling more awkward about it than I care to show. For the record, I had it under control. But wait, hunters? Of course, you didn't seriously think it was the sad, did you? He lets out a chuckle, the first one I've heard from him. It feels out of place, I think. "Do not take it personally, but if it were the sad you were up against, you'd have been taken out before you even realized there was a threat. They're too well organized, too professional. These guys, however." He sweeps his hand around, gesturing towards the fallen hunters. "Well, they haven't quite mastered the element of surprise." Still, running into that many in one place? Kadir mentioned something about a locust swarm back at Elysium, but come on. Twice in one night? That's more than just bad luck. Indeed, New York is nowhere near as safe for our kind as it once was. This is not your typical hunter behavior. It's British spelling. It's an anomaly, and its source is still unknown. Until we figure it out, I strongly advise against sprinting like a demented cheetah, biting whatever's within arm's reach, or showing off your unique powers. For your own safety, assume you're under constant surveillance. Choose your moments wisely. It's the second time I'm hearing this kind of warning tonight. Maybe I should actually start paying attention. Nah. And you might want to rethink your attempts to ditch me. I might not arrive in time to save you the next time you get in trouble. The next time? He seems to have me all figured out. Alright, maybe sticking with you might have some benefits. Am I hearing things, or was that a compliment? Don't let it go to your head, and don't expect a repeat. Now, about that haven of yours. Ka-chow. We love it. We love it. Oh, he lives in the Bronx. He would, wouldn't he? Because that's Anak territory. He lives with the Anaks. Oh, God. The walk feels endlessly long. I try to focus on the task of locating Reynard, but my thoughts just won't line up right. Definitely not a promising end to the night. Before I know it, we're already there. This is our stop. Let's head inside. Dawn is nearly upon us. He steps through the door first, but leaves it open for me. I see it as a slight sign of trust, or maybe I'm just too exhausted to be on the lookout for tricks. Home sweet home. Actually, I remember that. I did like his home. It's nice. Peeking into a kindred's haven is kind of like trying to read their diary, assuming they have one, of course. Our van, which I share with my crew, might tell a story of covert operations, daring escapes, and tight-knit camaraderie. For those with a flair for drama, that is. To anyone else, it could just seem like a mobile hideout for a few smugglers. Granted, I haven't exactly been a guest in many havens, but this one, it's practically shouting its love affair with books and a certain, let's say, relaxed approach to tidiness. And that Pádraic probably didn't expect to have company, like ever. Every inch of it is covered in books, papers, and random notes, a wild mosaic of ideas from the mundane to the outright unhinged. I swear there are even scribbles on napkins in the mix. Pádraic seems a little bit flustered that I caught his haven in such disarray. He rushes to clean up, oh my god, so cute, picking up an armful of paper along the way. Make yourself at home, the couch is all yours. At least the windows, all still open, have been secured with steel shutters. All in all, the place feels rather cozy. Pretty decent haven, I think. Just a tad too lonely for my tastes. Adorable. Not to annex, yeah. Yeah. Living with the annex, aren't you? Let's ask about his papers. That's nosy. Well, let's be nosy. What's with the paper explosion? You fancy yourself a writer or something? No. Clearly he does. The stack of papers he's clutching is kept under wraps and impossible to read, but the ones littering the rest of the space, they're up for grabs. I stretch my neck to get a closer look, ditching any attempt to be sneaky, only to find some disjointed snippets about history, voices, oracles, and the like. I shoot him a disappointed frown, only to be met with his painfully blank gaze. Clearly someone's got their poker face down pat. A history buff? Don't take this the wrong way, but you totally give off that vibe. Why would I take it the wrong way? I give a casual shrug, and he offers a smile in return. It's not exactly brimming with joy, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Get some rest. We've got a busy night ahead of us. I really like his shirt. I really get Malkavian vibes from him, which is interesting, especially the little jester faces here. I'm sure there's an actual proper term for these masks, but jester faces. It's hard to put up a fight against common sense, especially when you're running on empty. I give him a vague wave, settle onto the couch amid a few stray papers, and let myself sink into the deep, dark void of rest. Ka-chow. Same, yeah. A few hours prior. Oh, hello. Oh, what? Tremere Laboratory, intermission night 1. My goodness. The steady drone of machinery blends with the aroma of ancient dust and robust alchemy, conjuring a palpable atmosphere that teases the senses. It's a relentless reminder of the raw power in action, a sensation that never leaves you, no matter how far away you go. Is it a common theme across Tremere Labs, or did she add a personal twist just for my sake? Bah, that's beside the point tonight. Tonight the stakes are sky high, no room for getting sidetracked. I'm only going to ask this once. You do understand all the specifics, correct? The procedure and the risks that come with it? My gaze drifts down to my necklace, the symbol of my cause. I nod in silent agreement. Make no mistake. Should you attempt to violate our arrangement, I have my methods to track you down. Believe me, that would be far less pleasant than what's coming next. Let's get this over with, shall we? I'm instantly hit with pain so intense it feels like my flesh is being torn asunder, and no matter how much I try, I can't black out even for the briefest moment of blissful reprieve. My consciousness clings on, as stubborn as I am, as if making me pay for my plentiful sins, or paving the road for new ones to come. But the agony is worth it, and so is the prize that's coming after. Oop. Oh, end already. Okay, wow, I wasn't expecting that. The beginning. Complete the beginning chapter. Well, thank you. End night. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm asleep. What else am I supposed to do? Day and night. That's great, that animation. Yes, please. More of that. I love it. 6 nights till New Year. Happy New Year. Or as we say here in Germany, Guten... oh, I should know. Guten... whoa. Why can't I remember? Guten Rutsch? There we go. Good slide. Have a good slide into the new year. Good lord. I can't remember any languages now. I'll just communicate with my eyes. Again and again, it's the same sensation, a sudden plunge into frigid waters, snapping me back to reality. Not exactly a graceful awakening, more of a shit, here we go again kind of moment. In the midst of this routine, there's always that distinctive first touch, the thing that jolts me back to consciousness. This time, it's the gentle rustle of pages turning, a subtle nudge to the waking world. I crack open an eye and look around. In his derelict armchair, Pádraic sits bent over a heavy tome, pencil in hand, etching thoughts onto the yellowed pages. His gaze never leaves the text, but he must have sensed me awaken. Good evening. I hope you slept well. Yeah. I did, actually. Not worse than in any other place, at least. You kind of take what you can get when you live on the road. I am well aware. Oh? Am I in the presence of another esteemed vagabond? More of a traveler by necessity. Still, baffling as it is, it seems we have something in common. So did I snooze through anything noteworthy? He jots down one last note and carefully closes the book before finally glancing up at me, face unyielding and cold as ice. That would depend on your definition of noteworthy, but I have been pondering our next steps. I just noticed his arm moves. Love that. Oh, do tell. I have been working for the Anarchs for the past 2 years and forged friendly relationships with some of them, Torque included, although in this particular case I would rather avoid his presence. I'm with you on that one. And not just because Huddy knows things about Torque that probably Callie doesn't. That makes the two of us. Judging by his sour face last night, he was not happy with me snagging you away like that. Well, I am of help to him in the current situation. Torque is more than occupied with the goings-on within his turf at the moment. He may have neither time nor patience for a visit. Yeah, alright, so what do you propose then? The allegations against your sire. See, I happen to know someone who used to be deeply entrenched in the darker corners of the Red Market, an anarch working not too far from here. If Castle truly wields as much influence as the court suggests, my contact could offer substantial aid. Substantial, you say? Wow, can't argue with that, except it's a no-go, amigo. His face scrunches up in surprise, and he repeats the words as if trying to taste them for poison. A no-go, amigo? Look, I get it. You have friends and contacts aplenty, but so do I. Also, I know Reynard Castle like the back of my hand. We've been dealing all around the city on and off for almost 2 years. There's got to be somebody here who knows where he bailed. Pádraic furrows his brow, waiting for me to elaborate further. This is a real quandary. Two little angels whisper steadily into my ears, one having fallen spectacularly into the pits of hell, while the other has only sauntered vaguely downwards, spouting completely contradictory notions. In the end, I ignore them both, as I often do, and choose a third option, the best option, one where I don't have to reveal much at all. There's this one guy who hangs around Harlem. Eli or Ellie? Eli? I'm going to say Eli. Oh my goodness. Sanzaric. I'm going to say Eli Sanzaric is how I'm going to pronounce that. If I'm wrong, I'm not surprised, and also correct me. Eli Sanzaric. Apparently he's one of the few kindred that didn't burn with hatred for Reynard, so it must mean they were getting along. He tilts his head slightly at the name of my, well, let's just call it a contact. Eli Sanzaric, the serpent. Ooh, we're going to get some from the ministry. Why? Did you have something against them? Do you know what the ministry... Never mind that. Do you have the slightest inkling about what Sanzaric's capable of? Oh, I'm not fond of that look, the one filled with pity, but somehow I can't seem to bring out a credible lie to spite him. Go on. Enlighten me. To put it bluntly, only in the most desperate situation would anyone with an ounce of sanity consider seeking out Eli Sanzaric. A perfect lead, given my circumstances. I can go find him now, have a little chat, and be back in no time. We could go find him, but it's far from the best course of action at the moment. Sanzaric is known to be extremely dangerous and territorial. We should not take him lightly. I propose we go to the Anarchs first. At least there we will not be in danger of losing our heads. You're being so dramatic. We're gonna be fine. What's the worst thing that can happen? She says one night after getting dragged in front of the Camarilla court. Christ. I believe us literally losing our heads is most definitely in the realm of possibility. We could split the party, you know. Haha. Again, we most certainly could not. See, I think. Sweet lord, this guy. Aight, time to kick things up a notch. I fish a weighted coin out of my belt bag. Whoops, sorry, I think I reached my limit here. How about we just flip a coin? Heads we go to Sansaric, tails we go to Harlem. You mean the Bronx. I hate it when people actually listen to what I say. Fine, fine, call it already. I see him hesitate, eyes going blank for a moment. His hand almost inadvertently crawls towards his ring, spinning it around a couple of times. Squinting at it, I finally manage to make out that it's a dice ring. Oh my god, he's a nerd. He's like, I mean, he's a book nerd, but then he's also like, you know, he's also a dice goblin. One of those real dorky ones that D&D nerds wear when they want to look their silliest. Kali, stop being so judgmental, okay? Good lord. Finally, Pádraic looks back at me, gaze as sharp as ever. All right, but you call it. She's so judgmental. She's killing me. She's killing the Riz. Suit yourself, buddy. It's your funeral. Heads. Heads. I lower my head to hide a little smile. The weighted coin glimmers in the warm light of the floor lamp as it soars through the air, spinning quicker than the wheel of fate. Whoopsies, hit it twice. It lands safely on my outstretched hand and I flip it onto my palm, showing it confidently to Pádraic without even a glance. He looks at it and smiles up at me like the cat that got the cream. Tails, fancy that. Seems we are going to the Bronx after all. I'm in love. What? Impossible. Truly impossible. This has never happened before. Traitorous coin, have I not been good to you? Obviously he did something. Have I not kept you safe in my pocket all these years? Is that how you repay me? I mean, what the actual fuck? Who is he? Did David Blaine finally freeze to death and turn into this lanky trickster? How did he... best 2 out of 3? Come on, we can take my car. Well, shit. That's one battle lost. Ah. Yeah, your car. Wait, you mean that black rattletrap out front? It's a perfectly serviceable vehicle, whose minuscule size allows for... You know what? How about we just go and you can enjoy your minuscule vehicle in silence? A is for anarchy. Stupid coin. Gotta take the L, I guess. Not my ideal move, but tagging along with the K-Tiff might get me some answers. Plus, having seen Torque's reaction at Elysium, those anarchs might have a soft spot for Pádraic and share more than they would if I asked them myself. Okay. Cool. Not far, obviously, because we're already in the Bronx. She's so pretty. Pádraic's car is indeed a perfectly serviceable vehicle, and that's legally all I'm allowed to say. I'm having a blast shoveling through all the ancient cassette tapes he's collected, judging his taste in music out loud. She must be a Virgo, I say, as a Virgo. Oh, God. Another Bohemian Rhapsody? Seriously? Huh. I thought I only had one of them. Terrific. He says it with the straightest of faces, and I can't help but burst into laughter. God forbid you get with the times, but how about a legit car radio, you know, to update your playlist? Says the one sporting a Walkman on her belt. Touché, I guess. Still, I do have a soft spot for Queen. It never gets old. Just saying, you're missing out on a whole lot if you ignore stuff from the 21st century. The music scene's been booming. Ever heard of K-pop? You're giving me off some serious sasang energy, my guy. He eyes me with sudden interest. Do you think any of them have released cassette tapes? Aside from our contrasting views on modernity, our little journey proceeds smoothly. Too smoothly, in fact. A violent itch grows within me to tease, scratch, prod, and I can't help but give in. I came for this joke. Let's shake him till he spills. I can't be allowed. Yeah. I can't. Holy shit, watch out. He doesn't even flinch. The hell? We're gonna crash. And seriously, are you a robot or what? No, just seasoned and in the right mind. What was that really about then? Because you need to do better than that to freak me out. Just the traffic driving me nuts. Thought I'd stir up a little chaos. A little bit of anarchy. Is that your subtle way of inquiring about a seemingly touchy subject? You tell me. Then brace yourself for disappointment. My run-ins with the Anarchs aren't nearly as thrilling as you might hope. I landed in New York about 2 years ago. Shortly after, I managed to save a handful of kindred, mostly of the Anarch variety, although I do believe there was some Camarilla in the mix. It earned me what I would call a tentative trust from Torque, and not much else, as you might have assessed back in Elysium. Wow, how noble. So how did you go from kindred hero to Camarilla's gopher? There's a pause as if he's genuinely considering the trajectory of his own life. I have a knack for playing peacemaker, apparently, and while Torque considers it an asset, the Camarilla thinks it is a chink in his armor. Compromise isn't really in their vocabulary, you know? Oh, I definitely do. But if you save some Camarilla kindred as well, why not start with them and curry some favor? They're the fat cats of New York, right? I am a caitiff, Kali. My kind is not exactly welcome around the ivory tower. A rare feeling of guilt washes over me, even though there's no bitterness in his voice. After a brief, uncomfortable silence, I abruptly change the subject and lead the conversation onto a slightly different track. Tell me more about the Anarchs. Right, so you've been rolling with the Anarchs for a while now. Any cool stories about them? Tips on how to fit in? Tips? Why bother? You would not follow them anyway. Touché. Any cool stories then? He hesitates briefly. His hands, yes, look at his hands. His hands, while placed firmly on the steering wheel, meet in the middle as his fingers start nervously fiddling with the dice ring. Deep down, the logical part of me knows I should back off. But the readily available part, the one right beneath my cold, dead skin, lurches at this opportunity to sneak straight into the vault of secrets. Come on, I'm dying of boredom here. You must have some wild tales to tell, something not found in your pile of books. Fidgeting with the ring stops. His hand returns to the perfectly sensible 9-3 on the wheel. No wild tales, really. I mostly just talk to people. Riveting. What kind of people? Thin bloods, for the most part. I was particularly interested in one called Sana, but mentioning her tends to shut conversations down. Probably because she met her final death 4 years back at the hands of the sheriff, no less. Oh my god. Did he like her? My brain automatically turns everything into romance, so don't mind that. Kadir? Wow, she must have really stirred the pot. Well, she did go on a mortal killing spree, but I am not one to judge whether or not the punishment fit the crime. What? Wait, she just straight up murdered a bunch of mortals? Why? Thin bloods usually just sort of lie low. Better for their health in general. He hesitates again. Why so secretive about a thin blood going rogue? Because he liked her with your girlfriend? She claimed she was acting under orders from Cain, urging her to kill. My eyebrows shoots up, waiting for him to continue. He allegedly told Sana the end of the world is nigh, and somehow that devolved into a killing spree. And she never questioned why the creator of our whole species would specifically choose her, just straight up went on a rampage. For some reason, this perfectly innocent remark really gets on his nerves. Look, I am just telling you what I've heard. I never met Sana myself. I just found her condition fascinating. Oh, okay. Hey, no need to get worked up. I glanced at your research notes. I know you're not really into the inner voices stuff. I'm not judging, it's just... We can end this conversation anytime you want, really. It's just that you have some really niche hobbies, you know? May I interest you in, I don't know, crocheting or something? It's a lot less intense than chasing crazies. The kindred might not need air. Oops. But Pádraic sighs so profoundly it probably echoes into the very afterlife, or wherever else Sana went after meeting her final death. I'm not sure what I expected from an Anarch outpost in one of the most densely populated cities in America. Maybe a sewer hideaway sitting right next to the local rats. Maybe a few Prohibition-era cellars linked by a web of secret corridors. Maybe even a chaotic squat in a dilapidated brownstone. But a grimy auto repair shop with a bold red sign proudly declaring it's Mato's place, that definitely wasn't on my list. Yeah. I'm loving these not Malkavians. I know. It's like doing everything they can, but saying that there's some Malk nonsense going on. Um, why would I ask if they can read? Are we lost? Are you sure this is the spot? I can ask for directions or something. Ouch. The silent treatment. Oh. Pádraic parks carefully, checking the side mirrors to see if he's aligned perfectly with the curb. Finally, with a satisfied nod, he turns the engine off. Let's go. And he gets out of the car just like that. I follow, of course, not because he told me to, but, well, hanging solo in a car at night gets real boring real fast. Even with Queen Dee-Doo-Daying in the background. Woo. Oh, sorry, that totally zonked my brain. Mato, are you there? I fully expect company, but I still flinch when a huge burly kindred steps out from the shadows, quieter than a mouse. His grime-covered arms are all set to give Pádraic a bear hug. But he stops himself at the very last moment, either from plain common sense or because I'm there. Oh my god, he's cute. Ooh, what does his tattoo say? It's something in Latin, and I don't know Latin. Salve et Conula? I can't tell. Patty, looking good, my man. What can I do for you? Need me to take a look at that old clunker of yours? Patty? Clunker? Oh, this is gonna be good. I grin at Patty expectantly, only to be met with his gaze full of discontent. Oh, that is so loud in my ears. That's so loud in my ears. My clunker is in top shape, thank you, Mato. Besides, I can see you are rather busy tonight. Salve et coagula. So coagula, I assume, is something blood-related, just because the word coagulate. I don't know. I'm so bad at, like, Latin. I have absolutely no background in anything Latin. Would not know. I can make an educated guess, but I don't want to. Because I'll be really, really wrong. Oh, God. Still, I had hoped you would have a moment for a few questions, though I won't take long. Mato erupts into laughter, patting Patty on the shoulder with a hand as big as a dinner plate. Any mortal would get pulverized by a friendly little pat like that. This gentle giant is truly something else. Anything for you, my man. And speaking of, who's this you've brought? Mato's gaze cuts right through me, his hawkish eyes surprisingly cool and sharp despite his rugged exterior. A split second passes before I realize he's sizing me up and that I'm coming up short. Probably literally if he's that tall. Mato probably wouldn't spare me a second glance if it weren't for Pádraic. Mato, meet Kali. She's in a bit of a situation with the ivory tower, you see. Well, to put it short, her execution is on hold, provided she delivers the council her sire's head on a silver platter. Mato lets out a long whistle, his eyes gaining a touch of warmth and, dare I say, grudging respect. Damn, what's your sire accused of? That's kind of what we're trying to piece together. Ever come across a lick who goes by Reynard Castle? Reynard, huh? Can't say it rings a bell. What's his deal? Blood trade, among other things. Pádraic says it quietly, sharply, with no hesitation, and I swear I see a bit of vitae drain from Mato's face. Mato? He almost drops a dirty rag he's been fiddling with ever since we got here. A tense silence fills the air, stretching like an endless rubber band. Thankfully, just as I'm seconds away from blurting out some nonsense to break it, Mato speaks up. I left that shit behind, man. You know that. I know. Believe me, we're not here to dredge up the past. We just need a direction, nothing more, nothing less. Surely there is someone who's still in the loop, someone who might have heard some rumors. Mato falls silent, avoiding Pádraic's eyes. Internally, I'm giving Pádraic a standing ovation. I mean, I'm well aware I've misjudged my caitiff caretaker, but damn if he's not a wire puller. Maybe he could even teach me a thing or two. Oh my god, see, you're falling for him. I get it. It's a difficult situation for you, but I was really hoping you could help me out here. You know, I would not hesitate to reciprocate, as I have in the past. Yeah, I know. He seems more resigned than irritated, but still refuses to speak, eyes downcast, body language borderline deer in headlights. There must be some juicy history between those two, and I make sure to remember that info for later. Pádraic shoots me a quick look, but before he can double down on the guilt tripping, I flash my most charming grin and step forward. You see, I've only known Patty here for, what, a single night? It turns out that's more than enough to figure he's pretty good at killing the vibe when he puts his mind to it. That earns me an outraged glare from the caitiff, which I cheerfully ignore, and an unexpected chuckle from Mato. I count my blessings and push on. Look, I don't know the first thing about you, the whole blood trade drama or whatever. That's none of my business. I'm not about to dig in your dirt. Survival's the game we're all playing, right? Throwing a Reynard quote out there is kind of cheap, but it tends to work like a charm. So I'll back off. Plus, I'm in a spot where I really can't afford to have anyone else in this town be pissed off at me. Yeah, gotcha. It's just that... No need to spell it out for me. Gnarly pasts are sort of my thing, you know. Let's just drop the whole shebang, alright? He nods hesitantly, and I'm not sure if he caught on to my attempt to win him over. I really hope he didn't, because I've already scanned his workshop and caught a bait or two I can feed him to keep him on the hook. It's alchemical, dissolve and congeal. That's cool. That's really cool. Thank you so much for telling me that. I love that. So I'm guessing he's a thin blood. Oh, excuse me. I got so excited. Let him see a fellow enthusiast in me. Hey, you run a garage, yeah? Got any spare hydraulic jacks lying around? My leveling system completely bailed on me a few nights back. Leveling system? That's a new one. It didn't figure you for an RV type. What's your ride? I mean, it kind of started its life as a Class C Mini Winnie, but after years of like a Winnebago, but after years of us messing with it and adding stuff, it's basically a custom build now. Oh, and it's a six-wheeler. He lets out a whistle so clear it's almost musical. Modified chassis, huh? Color me intrigued. I'd love to get a look at that beast. Maybe it's just a simple fix for the jacks, like some wiring gone bad, no power getting through. Nope, checked that already. When those jacks decide it's game over, there's really no coming back. It's not a big deal, really. I just hate having anything break on me when I'm out and about, you know? Tell me about it. I used to spend a lot of time on the road myself. Yeah? What was your haunt? Duluth, Minnesota. Been ages since I went back, though. Why's that? Oh, you know, stuff, business, responsibilities, and then I just sorta gave up on it. Well, if you ever get hit with a sudden wave of nostalgia, I could swing by and pick you up. After I'm done with all this Camarilla bullshit, of course. It might be Hope playing tricks on me, but he seems more at ease now. Maybe even warmed up to me by a degree or two. Your Class C, that's your haven, right? Right on. A fully decked, sun-proof steel curtains and all. Reliable and minty fresh mobile haven. Damn, I really need to see that masterpiece sometime. Give me a few nights to sort my stuff out and I'll show you all its quirks. He cracks an actual smile, looking both wistful and excited. You know what? I might take you up on that offer. Deal. Just keep those fingers crossed for me, alright? I've got to navigate my way out of that Camarilla mess first, remember? I've mentioned multiple times. Am I being obvious? I gleefully sift through Mato's treasures, pretending I don't see him watching me like a hawk, clearly fighting a vicious internal battle. But in the end, neither of us breaks our silent standoff. It's time we head out. We still need to find someone who can actually give us some answers. They changed it to Patty, I just noticed. Ha, I love that. Sorry to bother you, Mato. Thank you for your time. Ow, that's cold, even by Pádraic standards. But it sets me up perfectly. I smile brightly at Mato and wave a little. Oh, man. Farewell, gentle giant. Goodbye, Mato. Look after this little Shangri-La of yours, okay? We turn around to leave, and I quietly count the steps, but before I reach 3, Mato curses under his breath and speaks up. Hold up. Pádraic shoots me a meaningful look, but it's gone by the time we both turn back to the friendly giant. Mato's gnawing at his bottom lip and twisting the rag between his fingers. Yes? Really am out of that business, Patty. I know, Mato. Still, some whispers find their way to my ears. Nobody likes gossip more than a buzzed-up kindred. Ain't that the truth? Usually comes in real handy, too. Yeah, so there's this thin-blood alchemist. Skylar is her name, I think. Hangs around Sunny's a lot. Sunny's? Empire of the Sun. It's a local anarch dive. Yeah, exactly, Sunny's. If anybody knows anything about the blood trade, it's her. She's the only albino around, too, so you won't mistake her for none. Thank you, Mato. That is all we need. I owe you big time. Who knows, you might have saved my skin there. Don't mention it. Still, we should get going. Take care. Oh, I remember Mia. Not so fast, runt. What's with the kindred in the city and their love for lurking? Or is it me who's losing edge? Miss Sorrento, what a pleasure. The air crackles with their mutual glares, Pádraic stoic, hers livid. Mato waves at her awkwardly, to which she responds with a curt nod. Me? I might as well be invisible to her. Torque needs you. Now. Why? I came here to tell you, not to debate you, caitiff. Figure it out on your own. Pádraic tries to hide his frustration, but his jaw is set and his shoulders tight. Fine. Let's get moving, Callie. I don't think you heard me right. Torque summoned you. Your ravenous pup is not invited. She turns on her heel and walks off into the night. The cluttered car shop suddenly feels a touch more welcoming, as if starlight broke through after a storm. Mato gives Pádraic another one of those awkward shoulder pats, but it does have a relaxing effect on him. Or at least it stops him erratically spinning the ring. Who's the bitch? She seemed delightful. Wow, another kindred who dims down the room. You've really got them by the dozen here in the Big Apple, huh? Yeah, she's kind of definitely one of them. Name's Mia, Torque's enforcer. Sort of big fish around here. Bigger than Torque sometimes. Easy, Patty. You wouldn't want her catching wind of that. Pádraic clears his throat in a uselessly mortal manner. Right, I believe that is our cue to go. Thanks again, Mato. Don't mention it. And hey, you're both welcome back anytime. Oh, you're welcome back anytime. Both of you. You got it. Later. Aww, made a friend. Pádraic gnashes his teeth so loudly that I can hear it a good 5 feet away. He's spinning his ring in such a violent and erratic manner that for a brief, bizarre moment, I think he's going to rip his finger off. So I make a brilliant, as always, decision to lighten the mood. Politics, am I right? Oh, God. The weather's nice, ain't it? Politics, am I right? So on a scale from 1 to I'm over this, how much do you regret getting into politicking right now? About 5. Sitting comfortably on the fence, I see, as expected of a professional mediator. How did that happen, by the way? Is there a seminar for that kind of thing? To tell you the truth, Callie, I am a bit unsure myself. I am happy to report that my efforts seem to have worked, or at least Pádraic straightens up and puts his hands in his pockets instead of maiming them with the twisty ring. Still, who knows what his little claws are doing to the lining of his coat. So what's the plan now? I have to go see Torque. Yes, I gathered, but scary enforcer lady made it clear I wasn't invited to the party. You'll just have to wait in the car then. Look, as much as I consider your perfectly serviceable car to be excellent company, we both know I can't just sit around doing nothing. Then I'll ask someone to keep an eye on you. It should not take long. Bullshit. You and your endless debates. I'll be old and gray before you come back, and that's not even an option anymore. Seriously, you handle Torque, and I'll head over to Sunny's to look for that Skylar girl. That's not happening. Oh, come on. I've been the very model of temperance tonight. We've only been awake for mere hours. Splitting hairs. I'm heading to Sunny's to wait for you there. Scout's honor. He sighs, rubbing tiredly at his eyes. I miss smartphones. I don't miss GPS. I'm not sure what either of these things have to do with what's going on here, but maybe because she doesn't know where Sunny's is. I'm just gonna say I don't miss GPS. I don't know. I mean, what else can we do? Are you gonna chip me like a dog or something? Oh, that's what she means. My God, he's gonna put a collar on me? And before you say anything, I'm highly allergic to any form of tracking, tech or otherwise. I have no idea what any of that means. It's probably for the best. A shade of amusement crosses Pádraic's face, but he manages to swiftly suppress it. Look, it seems we are out of options here. You'll have to come with me and wait for a bit. I'll figure out what Torque wants from me, and then... He trails off mid-sentence and stares blankly into the distance, hands joining together to spin his ring. I wave my hand in front of his face, but he doesn't even flinch. Talk about being out there, and trust me, I'm an expert on out there. After what seems like a lifetime, he finally having a premonition. He finally speaks up, and I feel every single drop of predictability evaporate. All right, let's meet at the Empire of the Sun in an hour. Hold up, for real? Empire of the Sun, 1 hour, do not let me down. Before I even have a chance to say anything, like maybe thanks or crack a joke, he turns on his heel, hops into his perfectly serviceable vehicle, and drives off into the night. I feel right at home, all alone and without anyone breathing down my neck. Surprisingly, to myself and probably to Pádraic as well, I have no intention of bailing, not when there's a solid lead waiting for me at Sunny's. But then again, the night is young, lit up and gorgeous, and I'm alone in the city that never sleeps. Why not enjoy the scenic route? Ka-chow. Vid, stop. Oh my goodness. Empire of the Sun. Oh, but we have a second. This is the main quest. Detour, luck be a lady tonight. What are the odds of bumping into a street gambler right in the middle of New York the day after Christmas at that? Slim to none, I'd say, but when fate is the dealer, you just gotta go all in. Can I eat whoever? Is this for me eating? Because I think I'm hungry. With my caretaker off doing his own thing, it feels like the Camarilla's iron fist has finally loosened up, giving me a much-needed break. No forced hangouts, no endless chases, just me cruising through the buzzing streets of the Bronx with Mariah Carey's Wailing as my soundtrack for the night. Because of course you just can't escape the official anthem of Christmas. It's true. It's true. You can deny it all you want to. I'm not a fan of the fake festive frenzy, but still, the dazzling array of lights and decorations, the infectiously high spirits and cheer, is enough to make even a Grinch like me crack a smile. Props to the folks who turned this whole Jesus-y shit into the world's longest con. Amazing. I love her. Despite all that, I find myself craving some risky excitement. Yeah, I know, I'm a lost cause in that department. Perks of the clan, so to speak. And it looks like Lady Luck is grinning at me again tonight because despite the nearly deserted streets, I spot a small crowd gathered up ahead. Curiosity piqued, I saunter close enough to fish out a really bad gather-up routine. Get in here, give it... What is it? Get in here, give it a chance, y'all, cause we're about to dive into a big old showdown, a jitterbug with destiny or whatever's trending right now. Here are the cards are calling the shots. Destiny, cards, chance, it's that same familiar melody, just played in a different key this time, and clearly someone forgot how to tune their act. Because I remember well how it's done. Invite the memory. Sure. Funny, this worn out spiel takes me back to my, well, let's call them my free expression days. Back when I was still mortal, not a vile creature of the night. I can still recall the dusty desert winds, the throbbing beats, and the neon lights that veiled my deceptions. My fingers were nimble with tricks, and the crowd's gasps were the fuel for my fire. And yeah, I was a hustler, though back then I fancied myself more a street performer, skilled in my art, only dipping into its shadier aspects to cover my immediate expenses. Because it was about more than just making money, it was about finding that sweet spot between illusion and reality. It's just that when reality hits, it really fucking hurts. But when one chapter closes, another opens, and in that transition, Reynard played the role of a catalyst for change. Who's got the guts to risk it all? Come on, throw in a bit of your time and a few bucks and let's kick this party into high gear. The stage for this show is a dilapidated table with chip paint and a couple of flimsy folding chairs. But it's not the dismal setup that's the most rickety. This background, this graded background, just, oh man, my eyes are already starting to hurt. It's his whole vibe. The guy is a walking vitamin D deficiency, wrapped up tight in a jacket that could easily fit two of him. His hands are like spiders, always creeping back into his pockets when he's not dealing or shuffling. I squint up to get a better look at his face. His eyes shoot directly at me. Hey folks, check out our next contender in the crowd. How about we shuffle up for a round of poker, you and I, eh? I can see that on the sly scale, 10 being smooth like Shin Lim and 1 being just your average uncle, he's all brakes and no gas. But hey, I've been fooled before. And that never stopped me from diving headfirst into dumb risks, has it? Deal me in, Slick. I slide into a chair, deliberately choosing the one he didn't point to just to throw off his rhythm, and I toss the required change into his jar for a buy-in. The jar's pretty full, though I suspect he might have stuffed it himself to look more convincing. We're keeping it real simple with only 10 cards. No room for cheating round here. Can't sneak in an extra one because you'll bust me, and if I try to swipe one away, you'll clock me real quick. Is Hold'em dead or something? 10-card poker, really? I vaguely remember Reynard teaching me some trick to avoid getting played, but right now my mind's so blank it feels like I'm forgetting even more stuff just by thinking about it. Alright, quick math. There's me and him, so that's 2 plus the standard 52 card deck, 10 cards in the mix, and that with, 250 something combinations. Half that, then factor in whatever he's hiding up his sleeve, and that's roughly the number of ways I can get fucked over. I probably should have asked what we were playing before diving in. But he's already shuffling, so there's a chance to get a read on him. I need a plan. Stat. Is that Kaiser's Ghoul from the previous games? I don't ever remember running into Kaiser's Ghoul in either game. I don't ever remember Kaiser having... I mean, I'm sure Kaiser has a ghoul. I don't ever remember me, Huddy, running into him. But I'll take your word for it. Try to recall the trick. I dig deep, trying to latch on to any memory of this trick. And oddly enough, I managed to fish out a piece of wisdom buried deep in the muck of my mind. Reynard's words come back at me, something about ships and that biblical guy. What's his face? Joe, Jared, Jackie, the whale guy, I mean, Jonah. Guess I could really use Pádraic's endless knowledge right about now. Fuck it, let's go with Jackie. Jackie Estacado. So this Jackie asshole, he's bad luck for the whole ship, and similarly, there's one doomed card that ruins my whole game. But here's the kicker. If I can figure out which card Jackie is, I can turn this game around in my favor. So the Jackie card goes down the shitter. Now the million-dollar question, which card is it? Playing the first round against even a shitty hustler is basically throwing my cash into a black hole. But hey, I'm feeling extra generous today. I'll even toss in a few extra bucks just to keep the game interesting. He deals and I check my hand. Jack of clubs, queen of hearts, king of spades, and a pair of eights. Oh man, not bad. I just barely won. Got 2 pairs, jacks and queens. Just as expected. He's playing 3 of a kind with 3 different cards, and the culprit behind my defeat, the one card causing all the trouble, the king of spades. I need to steer clear of it at all costs. Pretty easy to win when you're the one doing the shuffling. The crowd backs me up with murmurs of agreement. He looks rattled for a second, but quickly recovers with a smirk. Aye, you know what? Let's even the odds a bit. I'll show you the card, and you can decide whether to keep it or pass it back to me, deal? Finally, things are about to get interesting. He finishes shuffling and flicks the first card my way. Your choice. The Queen of Hearts makes her grand entrance, all pomp and circumstance. I'm not smart. I'm not a smart person. Also, don't really know card games that well. Mine. Yes, Queen, lead the way to our victory. There are certain lines in this, and I'm like, what Gen Z intern did they have writing lines? Writing lines in there. Hi, Furnace, welcome in. Yes, Queen, slay. Slay your enemies. Lead the way to our victory. Definitely mine. The King of Spades appears, all business with his arms crossed. Do you want this card, or should I take it? This is the one I should take. Do I? Me. Sure, King, make yourself at home, right? I need that card? I don't remember. God, I'm stupid. Yeah, pass it to me. I'm dumb. He barely contains a smirk. As you wish. How about now? The 8 of diamonds, about as exciting as watching paint dry. It's yours. Nah, pass it on this one. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. You can have it. I make a few more calls, deciding whether the cards go to him or to me until he's dealt them all. I'm really hoping Lady Luck hasn't turned her back on me this time. Reynard would laugh his ass off if I lost to Immortal. He's gonna, because the person controlling you is a moron. Me, I'm stupid. Then he reveals his hand. Shit. Yeah. Sorry, gal, you were just a little bit unlucky. His smug, punchable face, I just know, I can feel it in my gut that he's full of shit. Yes, we did run into Kadir. He threatened to kill us, and I gave him goo-goo eyes, and he let us go. I don't know how you pulled it off, but this whole game is rigged. Someone's a bit touchy about losing, huh? I get it. Not everyone can handle it. I'm hoping to get in trouble again, so I get dragged in front of the court and he chops my head off. What an honor. So how come you haven't lost a single fucking round tonight, huh? I jerk my head at his jar overflowing with cash. No one's that good, especially not a dipshit like you. It's pathetic how the dude thinks he's being so smart. It makes his face more punchable than ever. And I'm not about to let him off the hook that easy. Do I want to get hungrier to do this? Do. Confess. Oh, I'm getting hungry. I'm hungry, and my threat increases. The tension crackles in the air, and everybody's on edge as they wait for his next move. I'm stupid. I take my chance, leaning in a bit, a mischievous glint in my eyes as I push him further. I actually wanted to flip the table. I wanted to, like, just be a brat and flip the table, but I can't resist. There's still time to set things straight. Spill your guts. My words coil around him like a siren's call, irresistible and compelling, and my stare pins him in place. Yeah, Kadir is a sweetheart through and through. Absolutely. Sweetheart with a huge sword. And that's not just a euphemism. That's both literal and a euphemism. What am I talking about? Stop talking. Come on, be a good boy. Confess, you wouldn't want to disappoint me, would you? With every word, my song coils tighter around him, making it impossible for him to break free. The cheating! Yeah, you got me! I'm a cheetah! Suddenly, it's so quiet you can hear a pin drop, and then the crowd begins to thin out, leaving the hustler alone with his shame. I get up and snatch my winnings with a joyous spring in my heels, flashing a parting grin at my defeated opponent. See you around, bitch. I book it into the night, reminding myself to pick up the pace. Sonny's is waiting. I'm hungry. Oh, boy. Surprise, bitch. Bet you thought you saw the last of me. Empire of the Sun. From pillar to post to another anarch spot. Networking, right? With Pádraic temporarily out of the picture, it's on me to ring. Let Skylar Dustborn dry for every last drop of intel. Good job. I need a spray bottle. You do. You do. I need a spray bottle for myself. Yep. The area outside Empire of the Sun is pretty sparse, both with mortals and my fellow kindred, so chilling out front isn't a big deal. I blend in perfectly, all amped up for whatever's going on down tonight. Still, old habits die hard, so I take a sec to study the area carefully, taking it in the way my con artist sensibilities demand. First off, it's mostly tame out there. The only dude catching my eye is this total nutjob parked by the door, screaming about doomsday while rocking that coked-up Al Pacino look. He's got that wild vibe, complete with drool and insanity in his eyes. Yikes. Even if I was still in the grifter game, I wouldn't bother with him. Lunatics like that are more trouble than they're worth, and usually broke to boot. And then there's the front of the dive, which looks, for lack of a better word, loved. Despite the dodgy neon and the graffiti that's actually kind of witty, the place radiates an inviting warmth. A place with a soul. Still, the Empire of the Sun sign with Tsu scribbled next to it is so on the nose, I can't help chuckling on the inside. People clearly have fun at Sunny's and treat it as their place, a place they can return to again and again and again, and never feel unwelcome. But I'm wasting precious time just standing out here. Gotta find Skylar before Patty comes back and gives me the look. I head for the entrance, doors decked out with all sorts of funny stickers, but before I can even touch the handle, the crazy guy grabs me with unexpected speed for someone so curled up. I shake him off easily and give him my best back-off glare. It does nothing. He's in his own world. Unhinged ghoul. Oh, it's coming! The reckoning is upon us! The signs! The signs! Hey, back off, will you? Look up! Look up, damn you! It's death! Death dressed in rays of light! It's watching! The day stars waiting to cleanse us in fire! As I walk past the guy, his words echo in my head and rattle between the crevices of my brain, stirring dormant fears. Can you see? Yeah, for a Ravnos? Can you see it? The day star! It's the end of it all! Oh, God. I enter Sunny's acting all cool and collected as if none of that crazy shit fazed me. The interior looks exactly the way I expected, a kaleidoscope of stickers, murals, lights, and banners covering pretty much every available surface, interspersed with well-worn seating, musical instruments, and plenty of space for dancing. To say that I've seen it hundreds of times before in dozens of cities doesn't quite capture the whole picture. Woohoo! Whoa! Oh! Either my brain didn't see that or it was delayed. But I gotta say, feels like home. Spotting Skylar is easy with her head full of bleached dreadlocks. Besides, the bar is practically empty. Maybe all the kindred have gone to ring in the holiday season. My eye switching. Who knows? She's hunched over a table, completely focused on scribbling something in a notebook. She doesn't notice me as I approach, so I get a sneak peek at one of the pages and discover some gorgeous, intricate designs for, I assume, geometric tattoos. Ooh, she's one of those thin bloods that can do alchemy tattoos on kindred. And for other purposes. Allow me to... Have you guessed my name? Allow me to introduce myself. Hey there, Skylar. I plop down right next to her, shaking her out of her reverie. She gives me a confused stare. Do I know you? Well, now you do. Name's Callie, and I'm here to employ the power of networking. Her eyes narrow on me, to which I respond with my brightest grin. Can I help you or something? I'm looking for Reynard Castle. Never heard of him, so if that's all... And where do you think you're going? She reminds... I don't know if this is too niche of a thing to say. She sort of looks like that bizarre hippie white woman, hippie dippy conspiracy nut who sings on TikTok. I don't know her name. I don't know anything about her. But I know she's a nut and reminds me of her. That image. I grab her by the collar as gently as I can and ease her back down. She resists a little, but let's be honest, a thin blood has nothing on a well-fed kindred. I keep her down easily, but... A thin blood's nothing on a well-fed kindred. I'm not well-fed! Am I? I keep her down easily, but my grin widens in a manner that is, hopefully, just a little bit threatening. I usually favor dodging conflict over sparking it, but this time my impulses steer me towards chaos, and I let the flood take me like a ship on the windswept sea. Windswept sea. Dear God. Let go of me. Answer my questions then. Reynard Castle, where is he? Look, I really don't know any Reynard Castle or whatever, okay? Really? Playing dumb? Do I look like I'm here for games? Cut the shit and talk. I have nothing to say to you, bitch. Let me go or I'll start screaming. No, you won't. How? You have no mouth. I watch as her eyes bulge, hands grasping wildly at her face and finding nothing. Blocking the sense of touch is not something I do often, but when the opportunity arises, it's always a sight to behold. Spaceships and aliens. I don't know. Thank you. I thank you for knowing who I'm talking about. I know I do not know her TikTok name. I don't know anything about her. I just know that she's really weird and creepy, and like she's like everything that she wears and the way that she dresses screams like I am a modern hippie, but also I'm weirdly conspiratorial about aliens and stuff. No wonder it was his on site, yeah. Oh man. Before she can catch on to the illusion, I theatrically snap my fingers, bringing her attention back to my face. There we go, all back to normal. Now where is Reynard Castle? She touches her mouth, tugging at her lips, tracing the teeth, moving the jaw left and right a few times. Relief washes over her face and she stutters a little when she speaks up. I honestly don't know. I've only heard bits and pieces about him. Any alchemist worth their salt knows of all the major suppliers in the city. So you're an alchemist. Impressive. Screw you. Not sure where my genuine compliment went wrong, but okay. So what's the scoop on Castle, preferably his current whereabouts? I keep telling you, I've got no clue. I've never even laid eyes on him. Then give me something worthwhile. You're sort of wasting my time here, girlie. Give me a good chat, but I'm on the clock at the... Love me a good chat, but I'm on the clock at the moment. All right, chill out, will ya? I know someone. There's this courier. She delivers all sorts of shit all over the country. Nope, all over the county. Can get you pretty much anything. She's tight with Castle, all right? Interesting. Go on. Go on? Go on what? I smother the urge to roll my eyes. Go on, hook me up with her, like yesterday. All those threats, and she still hesitates to help me. While the time for the stick has come and gone, now it's time for the carrot. I really wasn't lying when I told Mato I'd rather not make any more enemies in the city. Look, you're not exactly catching on here. I could just take your phone and set up the meeting myself. But I'm feeling generous, so I'm asking you. Politely, I might add. You call that polite? Duh. Trust me, you haven't seen my full-on rude side. I'll even sweeten the pot, all right? You set me a meeting with that courier of yours, and I'll clue you in on where I stash my goods. Her ears perk up a little, but she still eyes me with great suspicion. What goods are we talking about? I flash her a reassuring grin, and though she recoils a little, her attempt at nonchalance fails miserably. Blood stashes, obviously. Top quality, best variety, all your little alchemist heart might possibly desire. Deal? I reach out my hand, pausing to give her the space to decide before I'm forced to make the decision for her. Luckily, after a brief deliberation, she reaches out and shakes my hand. Deal. Hold on. I'm gonna make a quick call. I can't keep up that. I can't keep up that with any type of sincerity. Oh my god. I nod and relax, keeping her in sight as she wanders over to the stage area and takes out her phone. I feel a twinge of guilt over how I treated her. Nah. Maybe I should have just started off with that whole blood stash thing. Yeah, well, I'm not exactly a planner, am I? If this courier leads me to Reynard tonight, this whole search could end in a matter of hours. Just the thought of freeing myself from the looming threat of the Camarilla, that annoying caitiff, oh come on, you like him, and this oh-so-futile endeavor, it warms the chambers of my undead heart. Finally, Skylar hangs up and gets back to the table, fidgeting with the charm hanging from her phone. A real bundle of nerves. Done. Meeting's in 15. Let's move. I can't remember what voice again. When it blazes brightest, we'll all be judged. I can't remember what fucking voice I gave him anymore. A gentle snowfall greets me outside, gracefully covering the dirty sidewalks in a layer of pristine white and dusting the occasional pedestrian with soft, fleeting crowns. Skylar winces at the screams of the madmen and brushes off the fallen snow. I, on the other hand, let it settle in my hair undisturbed. Snow never bothered me anyway. Let it go. Let it go. So who are we meeting exactly and where? The moment she opens her mouth, the perfectly serviceable vehicle cuts the corner with Pádraic hunched over the steering wheel, a roiling storm cloud on his face. He pulls up carelessly and lunges towards Sonny's before noticing Skylar and me. He pauses, face scrunching in confusion. He seems genuinely surprised to see me, and I'm suspended somewhere between feeling smug for defying his expectations, exasperated that he has so little faith in my word, and slightly regretful. I never even attempted to flee, if only to gauge his reaction. Sadly, he regains his composure before I can tease him about it. You're here. That's good. Don't get too excited. Of course. Duh. I told you I'd be here. Indeed. Though given your track record, you understand why I find it shocking, yet not entirely unpleasant. Hey, I never gave my word I'd stick around last time, did I? He rolls his eyes and settles his gaze on Skylar. They size each other up suspiciously like a pair of alley cats on a hot tin roof. Patty meet Skylar, a local anarch with a knack for alchemy. Skylar meet Patty. It's Pádraic, actually. Pleased to meet you, Skylar. Yeah, all right, you super formal goof. He is a goof. I love him. Skylar nods at him curtly. I can see the apprehension in her eyes, so I step in, hoping to keep up our fragile truce. Don't stress too much. Pádraic might be a bit uptight, but he's all right. He's just here to offer us a lift, that's all. Yep. I see. Skylar's eyes jump between Pádraic and me, but in the end, she seems to just give up on caution. Maybe the prospect of a ripe blood stash is keeping her on track. We need to get moving. The meeting place ain't far, but while night couriers aren't known for their patience, let's hustle. A night courier, huh? Interesting. Who is this particular courier exactly? She shrugs, making her way towards the caitiff's ride. Dunno. I only know her by the handle, and she always wears a helmet, so... Sounds risky. We're fine as long as she knows where Reynard is, but not gonna lie, Skylar, this gives off serious trap stench. You better not screw me over. Why would I? That stash of yours is my endgame, she adds under her breath. And getting you out of my hair is a close second. Honestly, Patty and her would definitely hit it off. Birds of a feather, yada yada. Do you really, really want to talk hair? She makes an affronted grimace, but gets into the car without another word. Satisfied, I nod to myself. I nod to myself? I nod to myself. How do you nod to yourself? Without a mirror. Before turning to Pádraic. I guess, okay. Anyways, you done with the torque thing? Yes. His speedy response is slightly suspicious. I narrow my eyes and judge him openly, but he is completely unfazed. More importantly, what's that all about, a night courier? I smile at him mischievously, fling the passenger door open, and there it is, Pádraic's audible sigh. He's really fond of his mortal reactions to my antics. Voices of angels, they seep poison into your ears. Heed not, oh heed not their honeyed words. The sudden commotion alerts me, and I'm instantly ready to pounce. The loony from before is kneeling before Pádraic, clutching at the hem of his pants with his head thrown back and misted-over eyes staring blankly into the night sky. He stops screaming, but his lips quiver with faint whispers that fade into the air like smoke. Dream not in your slumber, for the day-star will sear its truth onto your whole being. I sigh and roll my eyes, ready to toss a quip about attracting like, but then I notice that Pádraic has not moved an inch. More Malk stuff. He's staring motionlessly into the man's eyes, completely frozen aside from his hand, fingers twitching wildly, spinning the dice ring. He's been fidgeting like that a lot, actually, now that I'm paying attention. Pádraic, you okay there, buddy? No answer. The catatonic madman falls over into the snow as I approach and gently free Pádraic from his grasp. Pádraic, talk to me. What's going on? Suddenly his hand stops, then all of him unfreezes. He avoids my eyes and shoves his hands into his pockets. I am fine. You sure? What was all that about? I do not know. Let's not fret about it for now. The night courier is waiting. Yeah, game saved. All right, that's where I'm going to stop right now. Almost at my end here. And I'm at the point where I can't really talk anymore. Everything's getting all phlegmy and choky up in here. So, yes, we're on night 2 of, Reckoning of New York. Forgot the name for a second. I'm loving it. Draw Distance makes great games. Coteries was good. Shadows was better. I'm loving that. Like, loving this. Yes, I'll be back on Thursday to play some more. Thursday and Friday, and I can't wait. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, have a great one. I'm excited.